Welcome once again to the Damon and Floyd Coaches Show here on Buzz 101.3, where all of our coaches interviews are brought to you by L&B Appliance out there on Durkee Road. We appreciate their continued support of Bradley Central football and athletics in general here at Bradley Central. They're large enough to serve you, but small enough to appreciate your business. And Coach, I'd like to welcome you once again to our program this week. We went on the road for the second time this year, a region game, and come up a little bit short, but you know, we had opportunities to make some things happen, and it just didn't work out. That's the game of football, I guess, sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we shot ourselves in the foot a lot. You know, offensively, the very first drive, we didn't hurt ourselves. So, in other words, we never got behind the chains. So, we had 11 other drives after that. One of them was one play where we threw an interception. And to be honest, it wasn't the quarterback's fault because we didn't run the right route. And then the other 10 possessions that we had, it was always a penalty that got us behind the chains. So I think there was 3 possessions we were 3rd and 25.
Yeah.
2 possessions we were 2nd and 14. So we never had a 3rd and medium, 3rd and what we consider long is like, you know, 7 to 10. And then after 10 yards, it's pretty hard to pick up on defenses that are as good as Bearden. So a lot of that stuff was self-inflicted, you know, that we've got to fix. And, you know, game 6, coming off 2 weeks to prepare, was very frustrating to hurt ourselves,
right,
and put ourselves behind the chains. Because the first drive, we didn't put ourselves behind the chains. We're getting 4 or 5 yards, and we score. And then the rest of the night, we hurt ourselves. So,
yep.
Frustrating.
Really good drive. That first drive had that 35-yard pass. I believe the very first play of the game on offense for us was to Jarris, and he got 35 yards or so. And Marcus. And then we had some running plays, and then Jay Allen broke one for 33 yards, and we're up 7-7, you know, tied 7-7. And I'm thinking on the radar, hey, we got a shootout going on here. And then, boy, you know, after that, both sides had trouble even moving the ball, seems like.
Yeah, and then defensively, you know, for the most part, I thought we played well, except for the very first drive. You know, we usually always choose field position to go towards the clock in the 2nd and the 4th quarter. Well, the wind was blowing so hard, we thought, let's kick with the wind. And then we didn't kick it right, and they get the ball at the 40. And then the very first possession, very first run play they had, we were thinking they were empty personnel, and they come out and put the back in. And so when they went empty, we didn't have a linebacker in the game.
Yeah.
So they ran it, get it over about 40, and then we get a tackle for a loss and a holding call, and then we have a personal foul that puts them on the 15. So, I mean, once again, penalties kind of helped, and a lot of that was us. Don't get me wrong, in field position. And then the rest of the night, I thought we played really well defensively, and they got a touchdown to make it 14-7 that kind of hurt us. You know, 3rd and 12, and you know, like I said, we didn't do what we were supposed to do to win the game, and that's frustrating. But I'll say this: you never want to lose a game, and I told the team this. But I don't have a problem with adversity. And when adversity strikes, you got 2 ways to go. And it's like I told our team, the only thing that matters is us. And I get to find out, and we get to find out who's with us and who's against us. Because it's easy to point the finger and go, well, this person didn't do that, or that person, or the coaches are stupid. None of that matters. And I like to find out who's with us and who's against us. And our team's together. And we're going to stay a team, and that's the thing that we pride ourselves on. So it's adversity, and we're going to move forward. And I told them this today at practice. If we would have won the game, it does nothing different than what we're doing in practice today. If we'd have lost the game, which we did, it doesn't change us. It's part of the journey.
Yeah, well, it is. And it's a long journey there. We got 4 more games to go there. Let's talk about the game being switched. We were scheduled to play Ooltewah on Friday here at Bradley, but it got switched. Found out yesterday, I guess, it was going to be switched. Was that a mutual decision that you and Ooltewah both wanted to do? Is that how did that develop, I guess?
Garrett Payne, he's friends with Goose Manning, who's the head coach, and he had heard, I don't think directly from Goose, but through other people that they wanted to move the game.
Oh, okay.
So I'm always for Thursday night football.
I know
games.
You like those.
and so Garrett reached out to him, and he's like, well, if y'all want to move it, we'll move it. So, of course, we're on fall break. And then the other thing is, so we play Farragut after Ooltewah. Well, Farragut's off this week. So they have 2 weeks to prepare for us. So it does give us at least 1 extra day because that'll be a big region game.
Yep.
And so there's just a lot of positives moving forward. Friday, you know, we get to relax instead of having to prepare for a game, and our kids get 1 more day to relax. So a lot of positives for it.
Do the kids like the early morning practice rather than the afternoon, you think, or does it matter to them? Or?
I don't know what they like. They don't like to practice.
They
what
show
they
up.
Like.
Oh, they don't like to practice.
No, I have no problem. You know, you have teams that it's hard to get them to practice hard. This team's not that way. This team wants to do the right thing. They want to be good. I mean, they show up. They practice hard. So And when you have groups like that, it's fun as a coach. That's one less thing you got to worry about. You know everybody's going to be at practice. You know they're going to give everything they've got. They really do like each other. It's a close-knit group, so it's fun to coach this group.
Well, like you say, Farragut's got the week off. Then we'll have a big region game with them. Then we'll play non-region at Ray, and then we'll be back home from over there. 4-way tie for first place now, with 4 teams having 1 loss each: us, Farragut, Bearden, and Maryville. There's going to be one on the field by someone, and we're still in for fight for first place. That's one of your goals, I know, to win the region. You know, make the playoffs, but win the region if you can, and see what you can do there. So
yeah, I mean, and I told the team that this morning. Everything's still there that we want, but we don't look that far ahead of. You know, we're just trying to win the next one.
Right.
And right now, it's just focusing on Ooltewah. We do understand what's at stake, you know, region-wise, and we got to win another one to make sure that we get in.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, really, our focus is on Ooltewah, and that's the only thing we're concerned about.
Well, going back to last Friday night, one of the plays to me that really stung too was a pass they threw. We go up. Both of us come down. Finn Mertens has got the ball. He comes down, hits the ground. He pops up at the ball, and the referee says, no, the other guy called it. I mean, I know you can't change that, and you can argue with it all you want to. It's never going to be changed, but it's just plays like that. And then the touchdown that they had, it obviously from film, they didn't even catch the ball.
Yeah.
How do you? It's frustrating.
We can only control the controllables, and that's what I tell them. We all make mistakes, including myself, and I made mistakes, and I got a penalty, and I shouldn't have. But Finn's played really good all year, and Finn knew what was coming on that particular play. They had some tendencies that we were kind of gambling on, and Finn made a great read, and he'll tell you he studied the film and kind of predicted what was going to happen, and so he made the jump, and I thought he intercepted it, and it shows that he did, but they didn't give us the call, and that's the way things go. But look, there was calls that maybe went against Bearden that maybe didn't quite, they see it that way either. So we just want to play the next play. And like I said, there's things that go against us and things that go for us. And it, kind of evens out, I think, throughout the year. So we didn't make the plays that we needed to make when we had the time to do it. And a lot of those were self-inflicted. So that's part of the game.
Well, Bearden didn't help themselves a whole lot either. They had 13 penalties. We had 11. So we both had right over 100 yards there in penalties there. One of the penalties that it gets called, and I see us at all levels of football that I just don't understand, is you've swapped a sub in, and then the other guys leave the field. And he's, like we had this Friday night, he is 2 steps away from being out of bounds, has nothing to do with the play. He's completely passed everybody out there, and all of a sudden the flag gets thrown because we have too many men on the field. And that's, to me, that's a flag that shouldn't be thrown, but I know it's technically in the rule book, but it's here again.
So I know how do I word this? Well,
you just want to move on?
Yeah, no comment. No comment.
Okay.
Officials they got their rules.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is, and we know that, so we have to abide by it, and that's up to us. That's our job to control that. We should never have 12 on the field at that time.
Okay.
So.
All right, we'll move on then. Let's take a break here for LB Appliance here on the Damon Floyd Coach Show. We'll come back and take a quick look at the upcoming game with Ooltewah, a non-region game, and folks, that game is Thursday night, 7 o'clock kickoff. So pass the word, 7 o'clock Thursday night here at Bear Stadium. Back in just a moment. Welcome back to the Damon Floyd Coach Show, brought to you by LB Appliance. Goose Manning, James Manning is his given name, but Goose Manning is what everybody knows him as. He's in his 2nd season. he sort of struggled to get the Owls going. They won last week, shut out over Howard, who's not a prime program right now. He's played for the Owls, his quarterback, much like you played for the Bears. He was a running back there, and he takes a lot of pride, obviously, and he's trying to rebuild that program. He's struggling right now, but you know what it takes. You've been there. You came in, we were 1-9 the year before you got here as a head coach, and he's just going to have to absorb some defeats right now until he can get that program at the level he wants it to be. And
I hope he absorbs another one Thursday.
well, yeah, and I'm not saying that to be be disrespectful.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard, and it's never easy.
Yeah, you've been there.
I would say even if you come in and take over a program that's successful, I would say it's just as hard. Everybody has different goals, obviously, at that point. But I think you see on film from last year to this year, they're doing things much better.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, he graduated from there, so I'm sure he has a lot of pride in the program. And I don't know him that well. I did coach against him. He played quarterback for Ooltewah when I was head coach, earlier, and he was a tough player. So I'd imagine that his team would take after him. And once he gets everything the way he wants it, his coaching staff, his philosophy, and the off season, he did take over at a tough time, even though he's last year was his first year. Really, this is like his first year because he took over so late. I think it was after the dead period. Maybe he became the head coach.
Is it July?
So,
yeah, it's after the dead period. Yeah, July 12th. Yeah.
But you can tell that they're improving. I mean, let's be honest. I think they're 1-5. So they do have some weaknesses, but it's not like they can't go out there and beat us. Hardin Valley was 0-5 when we played them, and it come down to one possession games. So their running back's really good. They have some defensive linemen that are really good. And the fact of the matter is, you never complain about injuries. That's part of the game, but we're down some people, and won't be as healthy as we'd like to be Thursday. But it's time for the next guy to step up. So I'd imagine, they'll come in ready to play. Bradley Ooltewah since I've been here, it's been a pretty good rivalry.
Yeah, it sure has.
It's 12 miles away. It's closer than us in Walker Valley. So we've had some really good games with them, and I expect the same thing Thursday night.
I think probably outside of Hamilton, East Hamilton, which was built after and took away part of Ooltewah, I think we're probably their main rivalry when it comes down to it on the field. When it comes down to who you want to beat the worst. What do they do on offense that concerns you the most? You said he had a really good running back. Is a running ground game there? Yeah,
there's no secret. They're going to try to establish the run. They like to run an outside zone stretch play that's their bread and butter. And the thing about it is that gives that running back kind of leeway to pick his best his zone, I should say, his running lane, and that running back can do it. He's got really good speed. When he puts his foot in the ground, he can take it in any direction. So I would imagine that he's going to have some good runs because we're going to miss some tackles. I mean, he's athletic. We got to get 11 hats to the ball and make sure when we get there we wrap up and bring him down. And then, like always, got to win field position. We can't give them extra possessions. And then offensively, we got to open it up a little bit. Against Bearden, it was a tough matchup, if we're being honest. I think there's no doubt that was the best defense we've been up against this year, and we had some mismatches that we didn't necessarily like going in the game, so we were playing a little bit of ball control. We got to open it up a little bit this week.
Okay, so we can expect to see the offense pick up then, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I hope. We got to get first downs. We can't put ourselves behind the chains. That was the other thing. We couldn't open against Bearden. We couldn't get a first down.
Yeah.
And when you don't get a first down, you can't open things up. So hopefully we can get some first downs. 6
first downs for the game and only 1 in the second half, and that pretty much sums up our offense there was just not clicking there. We're coming in after like 28 points a game, 27 points a game, and giving up 17. Flip it with Ooltewah, they're giving up 28, scoring on 11. So, there's a big discrepancy there. But with school being off all break, I know you practice schedule in the morning, is there any mental preparation you do because it's different than the old routine of going to school all day, practicing after school? Or
I mean, I love it. I think we should be off all football season and just not go to school. I don't know. You'd have to ask the kids. To me, if you play football and you don't enjoy this week, like the only thing I do is prepare for a game and not worry about school, then probably don't need to be playing football at all. So I would imagine, I know it is for the coaches, we enjoy coming, getting practice in, watching film. Yeah. I mean, that's all we focus on is the game.
Yeah.
And so, it's obviously a luxury this week that I wish we had every week.
One final question. What about the big JV win last night over Cleveland?
Huge. Kobe Dills does a really good job. He has since he's taken over that program. And, our kid, we got a lot of young kids that we're really excited about.
Yeah.
And I don't want to start naming them because I'll leave somebody out. But really good game by our young guys. And I think they've played well all year. We've had to move some guys up to varsity at different times to help us. So, the record's probably not as good as we would hope. but we played some close games. We played tough opponents, and you know, anytime you beat Cleveland, anything, we're happy about that.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. Then this week it's a non-region game on Thursday night here at Bear Stadium against Ooltewah Owls. The game is moved from Friday, so pass the word as we said before. Join us at 5:30 for pregame, 7 o'clock for the kickoff on the Buzz 101.3. Until next time, we'll say thanks to L&B Appliance for their continued support of this program, and God bless and go Bears.